pricing is something that you shouldn't overlook. Many people do. Many people initially created their pricing strategies over the weekend, a quick conversation with one of their founding partners. And the reality is it deserves a much closer look. One of the strategies that you can take as you try to define your pricing strategy is to look at the value you're bringing to your clients. We have a client who initially, as they began to look at this, realized fairly quickly that for every dollar that was spent on their software by their client was saving $20 in returns. So our client decided that they would adjust that ratio a little bit, take their pricing up, still provide great value, and got that relationship to a $1 spent equals $6 saved, and their clients still loved it. And they continue to grow to this day. Now, there are other ways to think about how do I price. Many people in the data you'll notice are pricing based on users. They're based on usage. For example, in a CRM, the number of clients that you may have loaded or contacts you may have loaded in the system. They may have tiered pricing, they may have flat pricing. There's a number that may work for you, and testing them is an important part of the process. You're gonna have to stitch this one together because I want to keep all that and Additionally, you'll want to consider, how do I communicate this? Initially, software companies were hesitant to share their pricing online, and the trends began to pick up. We began to see more and more companies showing very clearly their pricing online. Well, why might they do this? One might be that they're interested in making sure that when somebody calls their company, they're already pre-qualified and they know the price. That's one of many reasons, but one that's most commonly stated. There's a recent study by OpenView Partners that identified that for the unicorn software companies as compared to private or public software companies, there's about a 2-to-1 relationship of showing open pricing versus not showing open pricing. And you can of course see the level of growth of the unicorn companies versus the private companies or public companies. So considering showing open pricing is a very important part of your strategy. Finally, you may want to consider another very common practice, and that is showing a good, better, best strategy of your pricing, where most people are focused then on the highly recommended better product. But that gives people that are a little price sensitive an option to go a little lower, and you can have a shoot for the moon price for those that want all features.